I was just wondering, like, what are your desires in sex?
Um, just that it goes smoothly when it happens, and there's not a lot of laughing or disappointment.
Watching Timothy and Lucinda is interesting in the sense that Timothy is really trying to set boundaries with Lucinda, but at the same time, because he really likes her and he appreciates the qualities that she has, he's sort of trying to avoid hurting her feelings, but also at the same time, he's trying to participate or to try and be open to the experiment. And then for Lucinda to go down the path she went, talking about intimate details. Oh my God, I don't get it. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by to Girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, Season 11, Episode 7. It's time for the couples to move into the new apartments, and everybody is ecstatic because it's a new building, it's new setting, they're going to create memories there, whether they're good or bad. So it's nice to see how people sort of navigate, the settling in as in moving day, who's going to take what side of the bed, who's going to take which bathroom, because apparently there are two bathrooms. And it seems Lucinda had mentioned that her biggest worry was sharing a toilet with someone. And John was actually laughing that of all the things you'd be worried about, that's it. And she said, yeah. And so when they went into their apartment, Timothy was good enough to say to her, you take the bigger bathroom, I'll take the small one. And she really appreciated that, which was good. And then with Jonathan and Lauren, did I expect them to move on from the Jake story? No, I didn't. And I'm not surprised that they brought it up because I think it's something that needs to be talked about. I think there needs to be someone there that's looking out for Lauren because if people are not careful, she's going to end up losing herself because this man is trying to do anything and everything to manipulate her and get her to do what he wants, not what she feels comfortable doing. I found the conversation between Lauren and Jonathan interesting in the sense that they were able to call out all the crazy stuff that, Jake had been trying to say to try and cover up. The fact that his explanation was too detailed about how the relationship had played out and how he was patronizing and trying to sort of pamper or humor his wife by saying, oh, you're emotionally intelligent, you've been very supportive, you this, that, and the other. And so to go across and to then hear Tori say, oh, I don't want to talk about it. We've already talked about it enough. I don't want to give this any fire. And also the fact that, Lauren, she's a bit, and it's like Lauren was fighting your battles. And so for you not to support her and for you not to call out your husband when he says, she's a bit too loud and you would never do anything with her. I don't get it. I don't get why she allowed him to disrespect her like that. But then, hey, that's just me. So the couples receive letters from the experts to say it's confessions week, and so they need to confess one thing to their partner. And so first up is Eden and Jaden, and it's like, oh my god, here we go. And so Jaden reveals that his ex cheated on him. He had said this before, but it seems the ex cheated several times, and people actually came and told him that this is what was happening. And so in order for him to take his girlfriend back, he told her that he would need to sleep with one of her friends and she would have to watch. And it's like, why would you want to create porn for your girlfriend, for someone that you like? And besides, you want to use someone else to get back at your girlfriend. That doesn't make sense. Apparently, one of her friends was happy to do it. And it's like, is that person a true friend or are they doing it because this is what they've always wanted? They wanted to sleep with your boyfriend and now they have the opportunity or the excuse to use to say, this is why I did this. I didn't like it. It left a very bad taste in my mouth. You could see that Eden was very upset. So she walked off and she sort of eventually ended up with Sarah. And she was talking to Sarah about this. And it's something that you wouldn't expect to happen. If he said to something like, oh, I was dating this girl for a long time, this is what she did, in the end I got fed up and I cheated as well, that's fine. But for you to say that you laid with someone and had sex while your girlfriend looked on, what does that mean? That is petty and very vindictive. And I don't think anyone would want that sort of relationship because that doesn't come across as healthy. I'm happy that Sarah was able to sort of listen and be a sounding board and sort of ask the questions that needed to be asked. But at the same time, I I'm very anxious because he's Jaden is already dealing with someone who's broken from their ex having cheated on them. I don't agree that he cheated because Sarah was saying, "Oh, he cheated." I don't agree that Jaden cheated, as Aiden was saying, because the girlfriend knew about this and she was there and she witnessed it. So it's not like he went behind her back and did something with somebody else. So I don't believe he cheated, but it's the way he went about it and the fact that he doesn't regret it. I think he should have said, if he was going to say something, he should have said, "Well, I don't regret it because she caused me a lot of pain and I wanted her to feel the pain. But if it was somebody else, I wouldn't do that again." That would make sense, not the way he put it across. And I think this is why Eden is very angry. I am so confused. Am I the only one who's confused? Because I'm surprised to see Natalie getting into the elevator and then, her saying she's back. And it's like, I thought you'd packed your bags up. I thought I'd helped you sort of leave. What makes you want to come back? I think, here's my thought. I think the producers encouraged her to come back. I think the producers told her that this could be in your benefit to sort of see this thing through. That way you sort of are able to be better prepared for your next relationship, because it doesn't make sense why she's back. It does not make sense why she's back. And to have, Collins be there, he opens the door, he's surprised to see her, and then he starts his performance again. There's something wrong with this guy. I'm sorry. Because the way he's always saying phrases or keywords that don't make sense doesn't make doesn't make sense in the first place. The fact that he is always, very happy-go-lucky. Oh yes. And when he's asked, "How do you feel?" he's got no response. I think there's a lot more to this guy than people know. This guy needs to go to counseling. I think there's something maybe in his family. He grew up having to perform in order to get attention, or he was bullied at school and he had to sort of behave a certain way in order to get attention. I don't get it. But whatever it is, something is wrong with Collins. And I hope somebody's able to sort of help him maneuver that. Um, I don't think it's a good idea for her to move back in and move back in with Collins, given everything that happened and given how he wasn't supportive. He was more worried about the fact that, he still needed to go back to work if he was being dropped off the show. He was more worried about the fact that everybody else was having a great time and he wasn't. That's the impression that I got in the last episode. Am I the only one who thinks the producers sort of trying to edit Lauren and Jonathan and Jake and Tori as the toxic couples? Yeah, Jake and Tori are a toxic couple. Lauren is, a toxic person, but Jonathan, I don't think, should be part of that equation. Anyway, they decide to give them the task of looking at each other's phones. And it's like, seriously, why? Why would you do that? Jonathan and Lauren just took it for what it was and they were happy. There wasn't any commotion. I think the producers were surprised. I think they were expecting worse, but sadly they didn't get what they were hoping for. And then with Jake and Tori, well, she went through his phone. I think she saw a dick pic, and also she saw a picture of his engagement and to his ex, according to him, and she felt some type of way. And I hate how dismissive, you know, Tori is being. Is she being dismissive because she just wants the fame that comes with being on the show? Or is she being dismissive because she really likes this man and can see a future? I think it's the latter. I think it's all about fame, because I don't get why she was upset about it and then threw the envelope away and said, "Oh, we're moving on." And it's like, something is not right. I think Jack thinks he's I think Jake thinks he's playing Tori, but I think Tori's actually playing him. I think she sees him for who he is and is going to stay on the show to milk it for as long as she can because of the perks that comes with being on the show. That's the impression that I get. It's interesting to watch the more mature couples in how they're dealing with the experiment as compared to some of the younger couples. So you have Richard and Andreas. So they've been tasked with sort of looking at each other's phones. And I like the fact that they actually sat next to each other and went through Richard's phone. And for Andrea to see that Richard is very good friends with his ex partners and they actually have been supporting him through the experiment and telling him how to sort of treat his wife is amazing. And so that was good to see. It wasn't toxic, it was just so laid back and so relaxed, and that was cute to see. And then you have Timothy and Lucinda. Timothy and Lucinda, it's a pity that Timothy got what he needed and he's trying to destroy it, because had he had the option of choosing, I don't think he would have chosen someone like Lucinda because she can be a bit intense. So, being given something he needed, I think, was amazing for him because he needs love, he needs care, he needs empathy, and that is who Lucinda is. And so, for him to sort of feel some type of way, I like the fact that he's not telling her. Yes, he's moaning to the cameras, but he's not telling her to her face, which is good. And hopefully, the experts will sort of speak to Lucinda and sort of help her understand how she needs to navigate her relationship, because otherwise if she continues to be intense, this man is going to switch off and then she'll be on her own. So I can't wait to see what happens next. These experts know who to push and how to push them, because they then have Lucinda and Timothy carry out the picture task to sort of arrange the other spouses in the experiment to see who they rank as number one and who they rank as last. And you have Timothy throw a fit because he says he's not comfortable ranking the girls and he doesn't want to participate. And it's like, oh my god, why can't you just do it? Just go along with it. Everybody else has had to do it. So why are you feeling some type of way? And he refused, he refused. Eventually, he agreed to only, sort of um, rank Lucinda as his number one, which makes sense because Lucinda has really gone out of her way to make this man comfortable. And so if he hadn't ranked the number one, I would be very upset for him. Lucinda herself had to stand by her man and decided that she didn't want to participate in the challenge, but she was happy to sort of place her man at number one, which makes sense. And so I don't know. I don't know whether it's because he didn't understand what was being asked for, or whether he just felt uncomfortable sort of putting Lucinda last because maybe he's not attracted to her, or putting one of the other girls ahead of her. And I think this is most probably why he refused to do it, because he didn't want to sort of hurt Lucinda by making her number three, number four, or whatever. So he decided to sort of stand his ground and say, no, I won't do it, until he was allowed to only put one card down, and he put Lucinda, and that was it. And then you go to Richard and Andrea. Well, Richard apparently loves to dance. He's always dancing everywhere. And his daughter said this, at the wedding. So Andrea accepts that and understands that that's who he is. And it was cute to see the night before when everyone was going to bed. Richard put on his CPAP, went to bed, and Andrea seemed okay with it. And I was so impressed because at least he's with a mature woman who's able to understand and empathize and is not going to make a big deal out of it. And when it came to the picture challenge, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. For Richard to put Cassandra first, and to say she's the one he's most attracted to, I don't think that went down very well with Andrea, because you could tell her ego was bruised because she expected him to put her number one, but he put her number three. And it's like, okay, it is what it is. What do you do? That's who he likes. That's who he likes. So he had Cassandra as number one and he had Sarah as number two. So, he likes a certain type. He said he likes dark skinned women, and so that's what he went for. So hey, you can't knock him. I can't wait to see how, when it's her turn, Andrea's going to rank Richard and see how he responds to that. But I wish she could sit him down and just explain everything she's feeling and how her give her honest opinion, because I don't think he understands how hurt she is. So I can't wait for that. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 6. Bye, guys.